Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the points of electric current which we need to remember before studying the chapter Effects of Electric Current. Electricity. Electricity is of utmost importance in the modern world. We depend on it for almost everything in our day-to-day life. The flow of electricity occurs in conductors and is blocked in insulators, that is, non-conductors. Let us know about what exactly conductors and insulators are. Conductor. Conductors are the materials or substances which allow electricity to flow through them. They conduct electricity because they allow electrons to flow easily inside them from atom to atom. Insulators. Insulators are the materials or substances which resist or don't allow the current to flow through them. Insulators don't have any free electrons. It is the main reason why they don't conduct electricity. So from this definition, we got to know that the substances which has free electrons in their atom are conductors and which don't have free electrons are insulators. Let's understand what basically an atom is and what are free electrons. Atom. An atom is the smallest unit that constitutes a chemical element. Every solid, liquid, gas, and plasma is made up of atoms. Every atom is made up of a nucleus at its center and one or more electrons revolving around the nucleus. The nucleus, that is the center part, consists of protons and neutrons. The protons are positively charged and neutrons have no charge, or we can say it as electrically neutral. The electrons are negatively charged. Let's move to our next slide. This is how the electrons revolve around the nucleus. Each electron revolves in its particular orbit. We can picturize the same as our solar system. Each planet revolves around the sun in the particular orbits. Let's see maximum electrons in each orbit or shell. The closest shell to the nucleus is called the first shell, followed by second shell, third shell, and so on. Each shell can contain only a fixed number of electrons. First shell can hold up to 2 electrons to complete the shell. Second shell can hold up to 8 electrons to complete the shell. Third shell can hold up to 18 electrons and so on. So what exactly free electrons are? The electrons which are not attached to an atom and freely move when an external electric field is applied are called free electrons. This is how free electrons move. The electrons are mainly responsible for the flow of electricity. Hence, these free electrons are seen in conductors and not in insulators. So when electric field is applied, that is when a battery is connected to a conductor, these free electrons move and electricity starts flowing through the conductor. What we need to keep in mind is that opposite charges attract each other. Means positive charge attracts negative charge, that is, electrons are attracted towards positive charge. Positive charge is said to be higher potential and negative charge is lower potential. Potential and potential difference. The flow of electric charge between 2 points depends on a kind of electric level at those points. This level is called electric potential. A positive charge flows from a point of higher potential to a point of lower potential. So electric current flows from positive to negative terminal of a cell, whereas the electrons flow towards the positive terminal as electrons are negative in nature. In this picture, a battery is connected to a bulb with the help of a conducting wire. The symbol of battery is shown above. E minus are electrons. We can see electrons get repelled from the negative terminal of the battery and get attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. So the flow of electrons is from negative to positive terminal whereas the flow of current is in opposite direction, that is from higher potential positive terminal to lower potential negative terminal. This is how free electrons leave their atom and enter into another atom when an external battery is connected. This is how free electrons move. Now let's consider an electric circuit. On the left side, there is a battery, and on the right side, there is a device connected by using conducting wires. Let's see what electrical terms comes under consideration with respect to an electric circuit. Potential difference of a cell. The difference in potential between the positive and negative terminal of a cell is called potential difference of that cell. This potential difference is caused by chemical reactions occurring inside the cell. The potential difference sets the electrons in motion and results in the flow of electricity through a conducting wire connected to the two ends of the cell. The amount of work done to carry a unit positive charge from point A to point B is called the electric potential difference between the 2 points. The formula which we need to remember is V is equal to W upon Q. W means work and Q means charge transferred. The unit of potential difference in SI system is volt. Potential difference is also said to be voltage. Electric current. An electric current is the flow of electrons through a conductor. Quantitatively, current I is defined as the charge passing through a conductor in unit time. If charge Q is flowing through cross section of a conductor in time t, then current I is equals to Q upon T. The unit of charge in SI units is coulomb. Current is expressed in amperes. The charge of one electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. What is amperes? 1 ampere current is said to flow in a conductor if 1 coulomb charge flows through it every second. 1 amperes is 1 coulomb upon 1 second. Resistor. Resistor is an electrical component that reduces the electric current. The resistor's ability to reduce the current is called resistance and is measured in units of ohms. The symbol of resistance is shown and how it exactly looks is shown. Resistance and Ohm's law. Ohm's law. The relationship between the current flowing through a wire I and the potential difference across its ends V can be obtained from the law that was given by a German scientist, George Simon Ohm. If the physical state of a conductor remains constant, the current I flowing through it is directly proportional to the potential difference V between its two ends. I is directly proportional to V, means if current increases, voltage increases, and if current decreases, voltage decreases. Let us consider the constant of proportionality as K. 1 upon K is equals to resistance of the conductor R. Hence we get a formula V equals to IR. This is known as Ohm's law. We can obtain the SI unit of resistance from the above formula. Potential difference and current are measured in volts and amperes respectively. The unit of resistance is called ohm. It is indicated by the symbol. 1 volt upon 1 ampere is equals to 1 ohm. Resistivity. At a given temperature, the resistance R of a conductor depends on its length L, area of cross section A, and the material it is made of. So resistivity ρ is given by resistance into area of cross section upon length. Let us now study resistance in series and resistance in parallel. This is an electric circuit where three resistors R1, R2 and R3 are connected in series to a battery. Let's find out the equivalent resistance of the series resistors. Let's keep in mind that the current here flows through each resistor is the same. So this is the electrical circuit. Resistor R1, R2 and R3 is connected to a voltage source through conducting wires. The voltage drop across R1 is V1, voltage drop across R2 is V2 and voltage drop across R3 is V3. We need to note that I, that is current, is same in R1, R2 and R3. As we can see, the current flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal. So, the current flowing from R1, R2 and R3 will be same. So, voltage is getting divided into three parts. So, V can be denoted as V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. By Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So V1 becomes I R1 as the voltage given here will be I into R1. Voltage here will be I into R2 and voltage V3 will be I into R3. So we get these formulas. Let us substitute these values in this equation. We get IR equals to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. Here I is common in three terms. So let's take I as common. What remains is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Here I is multiplying with this terms. So it will divide at this side. So I gets cancelled and what remains is R equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is the resistance equivalent of the resistor connected in series. So let us denote it as RS. RS is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is an electric circuit where three resistors R1, R2 and R3 are connected in parallel to a battery. Let's find out the equivalent resistance of the parallel resistors. So this is the electrical circuit where resistors R1, R2 and R3 are connected in parallel to a voltage source. Here current is getting divided and voltage is same. So I becomes I1 plus I2 plus I3. So Ohm's law, V equals to IR and I equals to V upon R. So over here I1 converts into V upon R1, I2 becomes V upon R2 and I3 becomes V upon R3. So we will substitute these three values into this equation. We get V upon R equals to V upon R1 plus V upon R2 plus V upon R3. Similarly, V is common in three terms. So we will take V in common. Same, V gets cancelled and what remains is 1 upon R equals to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Let us name it as RP, means the equivalent resistance of parallel resistors. So 1 upon Rp equals to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Hope you understood the video. Thank you for watching. Please do like it. Stay tuned for next video.